Ladies, gentlemen, non-binary, everyone, welcome back to Hoodie Fish. My bad, I had to take a couple days off. The moving was getting fucking crazy, but I'm officially moved in. I only have one place of residence. Now it's official, okay? Now it's official. I also joined a band. It was doing screaming vocals all yesterday, so you'll have to forgive me if my voice is just not here anymore, but that's not here nor there. So, missed 2 games. My fault, but I was like watching on my phone while I was at work and moving and shit like that. So I've got a good gist of what was going on. And it seemed like it was a seesaw affair. It was a situation of, one moment you're getting a must win against the Mercury handling your business, but then the next moment you're getting your ass beat by Minnesota and stuff. And again, shout out to them for everything they've achieved. I don't acknowledge them as a good team. I don't give a fuck what they're doing up there. I don't give a shit. If Maya Moore is not there, I don't give a fuck. You feel me? If Miss Flowers isn't there or whatever the fuck her name is, like I don't give a shit what them niggas are doing up there. But shout out to them. I don't think we should be losing in overtime to them, especially when we were just fucking 4th place, but that's not here nor there. But they went out there last night and they handled their goddamn business against the Storm, and they did what they were supposed to do. It was a must win. You have to make the fucking playoffs. Don't waste this goddamn season. They did what they were supposed to do. And I think regardless of how this shit shakes up, or how this turns out in terms of standings, we're either going to face Brooklyn or Vegas. I don't know which one I want. I'd rather not think about that right now. My DMs are going to be flooded regardless. I'd rather not think about that shit, to be quite honest with you. But I do know one thing. Them niggas went out there and handled their business. And I just want to do a little bit of revisionist history just for a quick second, and then we'll talk about the goddamn game. Number one, I would like to address the situation we're in right now is very similar to the situation we were in last summer. And the equivalent of what just happened is if fucking Alicia Gray said, fuck y'all, I'm going to go play overseas, I'll see you next year, and abandoned the fucking team, and then we missed the playoffs by a game. That is what Tiffany Hayes did to us last summer. Again, there's this strong fucking support for Tip in this fan base, and I understand the shit y'all have been through, and I get it. But y'all need to understand, it is the equivalent of if Alicia Gray said, fuck y'all, and went to play overseas, and it's just up to Ryan to figure this shit out. That is exactly what she did to us last year. So you'll have to forgive me if I say fuck her. If I don't have the fondest memories of that motherfucker. If when she comes down over to Atlanta, I'm not fanning out over that motherfucker. You'll have to excuse me. That nigga abandoned us and we missed the playoffs because of that. But and there are certain words I want to use, but I fucking can't. So I'm trying to control myself a little bit. But just know, I don't fuck with her. That is exactly what happened. If Alicia Gray just said fuck it and dipped, and it was just up to Ryan and the gang to make the fucking playoffs, that is the equivalent of what happened. So fuck Tiffany Hayes. You'll have to forgive me if I don't fucking support her in her future endeavors after the way that motherfucker abandoned us. We would have made the playoffs last year, but that's not here nor there. We made the playoffs this year. And, again, not to come across as a hater, there's just a lot of things that need to be documented. There's not many Atlanta Dream YouTubers. I might be the only one at this point. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to other people. But it's just like, this shit needs to be documented. We can't just sit here and just wipe their booty pipe the whole fucking video. We need to tell the whole fucking story. We need to tell the whole fucking story that we were in 4th place. We need to tell the whole fucking story that outside of Connecticut, the Liberty, and the Aces, wasn't nobody fucking with us at one point. We were all the way up here in the standings, and we have somehow dwindled all the way down to fucking 7th in a literal win-or-go-home scenario. It shouldn't have been like that. There's no fucking way that Dallas and fucking Minnesota even have a chance of being in our fucking stratosphere. The Dream did that to themselves. And niggas will try to paint these narratives that it was injury. It was because Alicia Gray was out a couple games. It was because Nia Coffey's out for the goddamn season. Niggas will try to lead you in a direction to say that these other random storybook newspaper clipping narratives is why we're in the situation we're in. And I just want everyone to remember that, yes, blow the trumpets, blow the bugles, you feel me? Get the streamers and the float ready to go down College Park. Well, maybe we shouldn't have the parade in College Park. That might not be the best idea. But wherever the fuck it is, we're going to have the parade. Maybe by the Battery, maybe. I don't know. Because I'm not going by the airport unless I got someplace to be. I'm going to be honest with you, but that's not here or there. I just need to understand. Before y'all niggas are ready to have a fucking parade down Camp Creek, I need everyone to remember that it's the fucking Dream that did this to them goddamn selves. When they were at full fucking strength, they were getting blown the fuck out by lottery teams. There were multiple games that we just fucking choked. Due to an inability to coach, and due to a certain player that rhymes with Ronald McDonald that can't do shit. Even in this game, the second that motherfucker Airy checks in, boom, Storm go on a fucking run, we lose the goddamn lead. After we work so fucking hard to get it back. The second that motherfucker checks in, it's like the other team says, oh, let go. That fucking switch. Where fucking Aries trying to lock up Jewel, it's despicable. And I'm telling your ass, just like with my Brooklyn Nets content, I can foresee exactly how this is going to end in the playoffs. Regardless who we go up against, y'all are going to try to blame it on we're playing an elite team and that it's a situation of matchups and the standings and the seedings. And while that is a factor, I want, number one, everyone to remember we did this to ourselves because we were fucking fourth. We were in fucking fourth place and free-falled all the way down to seventh. So number one, just remember we did that to ourselves. Whether we end up 7 or 8, whatever the fuck happens. And the standings of the WNBA brackets and shit like that, I'm not super familiar with because I've never seen us make the playoffs before. So maybe I'm off on how the matchups are going to be. I don't know if there's a play-in tournament. Like, I don't know. But to my basic understanding, you just like flip the shit like a sandwich and like 1 meets 8 and 2 meets 7 type shit. You just fold the shit, right? So number one, I just want to make sure we're all aware the Dream did this to themselves. So don't fucking have pity. They did this to themselves. That's number one. So throw that bad matchup shit out the window. They did that to themselves. Number two, and this is a very important number two, if we don't make it out the first round, it is because of 2 very important things. Coach Wright and Ari McDonald. I'm telling you, I'm predicting the future right the fuck now. This is what's going to happen. Now, I know y'all are looking at your devices saying, Sever, goddamn, give them a break. Why are you being so negative? It's because the whole story needs to be told. I don't think it's beneficial to get on here and just ignore all the context and say, oh, the Dream made the playoffs, we're going to do... Because there's so much other context behind this, I feel like it's a disservice. I feel like I'm not doing my job by sitting here only covering the positives. And it's very much a flash in the pan moment. Because if they go out there and get their ass beat 2 more times, nigga, we're 8th. I'm just trying to prepare y'all for the conversations we're going to be having in a couple days. Because the playoffs start on the 13th. So I'm just getting y'all ready for some of the conversations we're going to have. But I'll table that for a moment. I'll ignore that for a moment. And we'll pretend like there's not a literal dark cloud over the organization. And we will just ignore it and focus on the positive for y'all's sake. Because I know, listen, I get it. I can come across cynical. I understand. So we'll just table that for a second. Even though we'll be right back to it in a couple days. We'll just table that for a second and just be happy for the Dream for a second. Okay, tabling it, positivity mode. What a fucking game. I mean, what a fucking game. You're talking about an organization that is used to championships. You're talking about an organization where, much like the fucking Mercury, I mean, they're always fucking making the playoffs. You got the same goddamn team minus Stewie and Sue Bird, and, I mean, look at this shit. I don't know how fucking Kia Nurse got on there. I don't know when that happened. I'm not really sure, but that's not neither there. Am I the only one who's fascinated at the fact that nobody picked up Tina Charles? But that's not here to that's not here to there. But anyway, great fucking game. Made the Monique Billings fan club stand up and stand tall. You got what you fucking wanted. I refuse to eat any words. I don't take back any of my fucking slander. But, you know, shout out to her for playing incredible. Clearly the MVP of the game. Ryan Howard is doing an amazing job of making sure that she is still for facilitating the ball, making sure she's passing out of the double teams and all that shit. She's doing a spectacular job, you know? Getting more confident and, you know, kind of yelling at the refs like, yo, call that shit. They fucking me up down low. Call that shit. You know, you love to see it. Alicia Gray, we've talked about on multiple occasions where it's giving the dynamic of DeJounte Murray, Trae Young, to where if Trae's fucking up or Trae's just getting smothered or some shit like that, give the ball to DeJounte and get the fuck out the way. It's as simple as that. And Alicia Gray is doing such an amazing job of taking advantage of the open look she's getting. Because the game plan is literally assassinate Ryan Howard and let someone else beat you. Her and Cheyenne Parker are really just understanding the assignment and taking advantage of it. And it's beautiful to see. The difference between Cheyenne and Alicia is Alicia does literally everything. I mean, just like a name and aspect of basketball, and she's fucking doing everything. She's doing everything but calling the plays, which we don't have plays, so I guess you can say everything. She's doing everything. That motherfucker is doing everything. And I don't think we talk about her enough. Y'all said as soon as the trade went down, this is going to be the difference. This is it. Well, goddamn it, y'all were right. This motherfucker is... Y'all called that shit. Excellent pickup. I don't remember if we traded for her or just acquired her in free agency. I don't remember how that came about. I just know I'm very thankful for it. Because that motherfucker, goddamn. Then you got D-Rob, who I have had an interesting time with, if you can put it like that. There are times where I think she is just fucking terrible. But then, you know, I will give her this towards the end of the season, once, you know, she came back from that initial injury and she kind of got back in the groove of things and got her feet back under her. She's the fucking glue of the team. Again, I don't apologize for my slander because she was fucking up. So I don't take that back. That's canon events. But currently, she's playing incredible. Hitting shots when we need it, facilitating the ball, playing that goddamn defense, you know, getting the calls and shit like that. Like, niggas be trying to, like, shove her off, and she sells the fuck out the contact. That's what the fuck we need. I think she plays incredible. And while I do think we could use an upgrade in that position in general, it's great to fucking have her. And I think if we can just get rid of Aerie and bring in someone who's good, I think having D-Rob come off the bench and like that like veteran, like Golden State Chris Paul mode type shit, I feel like that would be incredible, personally. But right now, she's serving her purpose. She's doing the goddamn thing. I'm here for it. Love her. Great shit. And the multicolored hair thing is obviously something I'm here for. AD, that motherfucker doesn't get the credit they deserve for how much of a fucking bucket they are. That motherfucker will literally not play like the entire fucking game and get 4 minutes in the third quarter. And they're just shooting the shit out, just shooting the goddamn lights out. That motherfucker does not get the credit they deserve for how amazing they are. Shout out AD. Nas, obviously handling her business. You got fucking Haley Jones. I mean, there's to me, it's her and AD that show like just the most fucking class in the whole organization. These niggas will literally not play at all, get 4 minutes in the third, and still be impactful. Shout out to both of them. Shout out to fucking both of them. It is possible, and, you know, maybe this is me jumping the gun, but I think it is possible that if we were to get rid of Aerie, you could just give those minutes to Haley Jones, but, you know, maybe that's wishful thinking on my part. I'm not sure. I mean, the motherfucker got a podcast, but everyone played well. I refuse to say anything positive about Coach Wright, and I refuse to say anything positive about Aerie, but everyone else, good fucking job. You know, you made the fucking playoffs. This is a big deal. First time since, goddamn, 2018. Fun fact, I met my fiance in October of 2018. So that's fucking 5 years. Like, holy shit, you know? Like, that's a long time to not make the playoffs. So shout out to them for getting back in it. This is wonderful. This is amazing. I can't wait for fucking playoff basketball. Season ain't over, motherfucker. The season ain't over, motherfucker. We gonna keep going, and we're gonna see whatever this fucking WNBA format is. I believe it's just, you know, the little sandwich method where it's like, you know, top teams face the bottom teams. I think it's just a matter of, are we still doing that like bullshit 1 game elimination thing? Or is it gonna be one of those things where, because like I remember in 2021, it was like the bottom teams play each other and it's like 1 game elimination until like the damn near 2nd or 3rd round where the top 2 teams finally play. Like I don't remember how this shit goes, but we're gonna fucking find out. And I hope you're there to watch it with me. I'm Sever the Bond. You're on Hoodie Fish. I don't have much of a voice, but, you know, we're doing this shit anyway. I will see you motherfuckers Friday night to discuss, which is tomorrow, to discuss whatever the fuck it is we did in our next game. It better be a dub. I don't give a shit who we're playing. It better be a fucking dub. But regardless, we clinched. So, you know. Cabbage Patch. Shout out to us. Let me know your thoughts down below. I'm sure you already have. And I'll see you motherfuckers tomorrow. Yeah.